Sun beat down like the river. I was driving, trees goodbye. Me and Dale were singing blue away. I was flying around town, never would come to me. It felt so good, like anything was possible. It was control of my eyes. The last 3 days, the rain was unstoppable. It was always cold, the sunshine. The sky grew dark. I put the pedal down. Something good waiting down this road. I'm good, whatever is mine. I want you.
Good morning, traders. Uh-oh, lost my glasses. Hang on 1 second. I can't see the screen. Where'd my glasses go? Well, that's enough sign that things aren't quite the way I thought they would be for the morning, but it is what it is. I found my glasses. Miracles, never cease. Sheesh. So not used to putting these dumb things on. About to drive me crazy. All right, enough of my whining. Good to see everybody back in. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a great weekend and looking forward to another interesting week while we look at the timings of the markets with maybe some other cool stuff along the way. All right, so let's kick around the charts today and see where we're at, where we're going to be. Starting this morning on the crude. Well, yeah, crude redid my weekly bars, which kind of pissed me off. So the weekly prices on crude, like the intraday stuff versus the historical that they published, are different. And that makes me mad. I don't like it when they do that stuff. But that's what happened when I restarted my platform. So last week we actually came up and touched this level according to my intraday chart, but not showing that over on the historical. I guess that's because that's where the bar, I don't know. I don't really understand how they do what they do, but they do it. Crude is still on a tear. Now, we're reaching that price level and we're reaching that time where we need to start paying very close attention to crude because we do have this window of opportunity coming up. So on our highest time frame chart we're watching for this market, there's been our last while. Okay, so there's been our last year. In fact, I can take these things off now because, ding, I don't need them anymore. And gosh, that looks like a messy chart, doesn't it? The chart's a disaster up there, all the levels we've been watching on this market. It's because we've been in such a range-bound market for the last 8 years. Over on a weekly, you can really see it starts to kick in there after a while. If we get it down to the really tight view and intraday, you don't notice it, but boy, it really does look ugly over on a daily. I'm not going to need that one now because we're above it, but let's get in. All right, so as we're coming up, I was looking for a bounce week before last, and again last week off of this resistance level, the red level that you see on my chart. This red horizontal line at 86.50 represented weekly resistance coming from 2014, I think it was. So been or 2000, I don't, it was 8 years. So coming from the last 8 years. So from there, we've seen a hard pull. We were expecting to see a move back down into this cluster of activity. Well, and we kind of did. So the market came down, whacked the cluster last week, came all the way back up and closed right at the 86.50. Now, so far this week, that would be yesterday and overnight this morning, we have pushed up and the market has now pushed up into the 88.50 level once again. So we are hung right between these support and resistance areas. We actually took trades in here last week, right between those two. And if you were in the room on Thursday, well, we were actually in a trade and got out of it almost dead between the two levels. And I don't know why it's not showing there, but I know we were there. So we're going to watch and see where the market continues to go here over the next day. Now, the important part about this chart is the timing. So the important part is 218. Well, that's week after next. Actually, that's today is the 1st. So we got 18 days to get there. 3 weeks, basically. Well, that means this week is going to be wherever this bar is. Next week, as we are starting next Monday, we'll enter the possible pattern 5 window. Okay, so I'm keeping this price level identified for us. So we're going to enter this pattern 5 window. Now, by entering the P5 window, we're going to watch and see where the market goes. If the market is continuing to put in these brand new highs coming into next week, this week doesn't count, next week does. If we're putting in brand new highs next week, then we're going to start expecting a hard pullback in the market, especially if we get another consecutive higher high bar here or a higher close bar off of the end of this week, and if next week we get a higher close bar, or if we get a range expansion bar. If the market were to push up above 88.62, my next price level up is $94.95 a barrel basically. So my next price level is 95. If the market got to 95 in the next 3 weeks, it would automatically be range expansion. In the very next week, we would look for a strong pullback. We don't really have that at the moment. It is doable. Don't know if it will, but we're going to watch and see if that potential happens. As it is right now, we are stuck between daily support and resistance, or weekly support and resistance levels. Those are those two red lines hanging out there, and we're going to see where it's going to go. So until next week, I really don't have anything else to look at on this chart. Looking at a daily. Okay. Okay. On our daily warp, so we had quite a bit of time between signals. So 11:20 to basically a month. So we've got a month between these timing signals. That's a while. That's not exactly like one day. So we got a month between signals. And with that, I chose to put a divider on here so that we could see if we're going to start getting pullbacks at these projected times. So again, I'm just kind of using this as a reference. I am expecting, because the market did push up above the pattern 5, the little dash dot line I put on here, that represents the pattern 5 window. Yeah, see, now the daily chart shows that we got above that level. The weekly chart does not show this at all, which pisses me off. It just absolutely makes no sense at all. But I know we were there. The daily's not even showing it. Is it wrong contract? We were in that range last week. I know we were. I know it. Unless I'm getting delusional. Anyway, we'll figure it out. So we've seen the push up yesterday, tap the level. Am I delusional? Was it a different contract? Something on this is just not jiving. What is my brain telling me here? Something's weird. Anyway, so we pushed up. Let's see where the market's going to end up going. 88.50, the highest resistance level, until we push all the way up into here. Now, I don't have anything else to look at until Monday, 221. Well, 221 is a sell. 221 on that Monday, it's going to end up being a sell cycle. That's going to correlate within 1 bar or very closely to this 218. This is a Friday and the other one's a Monday. So the correlation is there from the weekly to the daily. So weekly to daily, that will be our next major pullback time. So we'll watch and see what the market gives us until there, but I'm really expecting to see a hard reversal right about here. Again, if I get some range expansion on a daily or on the weekly as we're getting into this time frame, that's going to give us a little more heads up, but we've still got a couple of weeks to get there. Till then, I don't have a whole lot else to see. Tomorrow, we are going to come into this projection. This is not a primary level. It's like a secondary. It's where I divided the levels up. And we're going to see where the market is. As of today, we are sitting on resistance. If the market breaks out above 88.50, again, we're off to the races until $95. So $8 up, $7 up. Yeah, $7 up. We'll see where we go. Resistance still in the market here. Looking at crude on a daily cycle. All right. Well, last week we identified the first bar right here. Whoops, nope. The first bar closed above the daily cycle signal level right there. So with the first bar closing above, we only had a couple of bars left. This took until Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. We only had a couple of days left after the thing finally closed. And looks like this week we're going to be back onto a Monday cycle. So coming into, is that right? Oh, no, hold on. Hang on a second. I was doing some, let me turn these back on. I was doing some analysis on my chart, guys. And was it this chart? Enable phase, enable phase, enable phase. No, it's on there. Never mind. I am losing my brain here. I do not know what I'm thinking. Well, everything's on there. There's the drawings I made last week, so it's obviously still there. You know what? I'm not completely delusional. Hang on one second. Hold on. I am missing a whole day of data. That's what's happened. Hold on. This is going to drive me insane. Let me see if I can get it back. Give me a minute, please. I'm literally missing. I know we were in that price range on Thursday. It didn't show up on the weekly. It's not showing up on the daily. I don't have Thursday showing. So I'm missing an entire day of historical data after I reloaded my platform yesterday. So something didn't load right, or I don't know, something. But I am literally missing a day of data. I may have to rebuild. I may have to reload the platform here. Bear with me just a minute, please. Do you guys have Thursday? Anybody else out there, do you have Thursday's data? So that way I know if it's like a global NinjaTrader thing or if it's just me. But I am missing all my data from Thursday. In fact, I don't think I have Thursday or Friday. I don't have any data from the 24th or the 25th. So Scott has it. My data stopped on the 26th and resumed again on the 31st. I am missing 2 full days of data on my daily chart here. Hang on, let's see if this thing will fill them in. Didn't do it. Crap. Hold on, I'm gonna reboot the platform. Please give me just a minute. This is gonna screw up half my analysis if I don't get this right. I know that we were trading in that price range last week. No, let's not save. All right, bear with me just a minute here. Let's let NinjaTrader do its thing. Let's reboot it. Simulated live multi-broadcast. All right, let it pull it back in. Maybe it's just a work. Maybe it's a constructed workspace. Maybe Ninjas. Maybe I've got this. Who is this? This is stage 5, and I think it's Continuum. Is who this data provider is. Maybe they're just missing some data. Scott said he has the data. Interesting. Give it just a second. Let it load the workspace. Hate it when stuff gets wonky. It gets that wonky especially. Buzzer cost is still not there. Gonna mess me up losing 2 full days of. Maybe it's just on the daily bars, hopefully, because if I'm having the same issue on my 1 hour bars, then I'm gonna have an issue. All right. Still not filled in on the weekly, so the weekly bars are not there. I'm still missing bars on my daily. There's 125 and 131. Crapo. Crapo, crapo, crapo. And same thing here. Man. Okay. I don't know what's going on. There's something with my data provider here. This is an odd thing, but it might. Let me make sure I got hourlies. This is going to jack up everything. No, it's not going to jack up everything, but it does definitely makes for a fairly large gap here. And we were already trading at the 88.50 level last week. So yeah, Earl said he has it using his e-signal. Yeah, I'm on the NinjaTrader Continuum. So there's something in Continuum's historical data, I guess, that is whacked. Somehow they've got a server outage or what. I guess they're pain in the butt right there. That's going to be annoying. All right, well, it'll take me some time to figure out how to fix it, if I can fix it. This week, yesterday was our new controlling range bar. I'm going to move on here. Yesterday was a new controlling range bar. There was our range from yesterday. And today we need to see if the market's going to close above or below the range. If the market closes today above 88.17, then we will go up for the remainder of the week. If we close anything below 87.47, we're going to go down for the remainder of the week. So let's see what the market ends up giving us. We got to wait one more day. Hang on. You ever get something that just doesn't make any sense to you at all, and it just drives you insane until you figure it out? Sure enough, I have no historical data. I am missing 2 full days of historical data. All right, down to the 1 hour. We'll see if the 1 hour shows I have historical data. It does not. See, I am missing it. Look at that crap. There's all of our stuff. Look at all my signals that are all clustered up together from last Thursday. Sure enough, there's all of that crap. So it's either, what is the deal with this? It's not really going to affect me today, I don't think. Well, it will too. All right, 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I'm going to stop whining here and just get my head around it. 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon until 1 o'clock. 5 until 1 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be in a buying power zone. The market has been retesting the top of this range at 88.50. We've hit it multiple times over the last several days. Support is currently holding at 86.50, and then 88.52 dollars up, we have resistance. The market's pulling down at 10 o'clock this morning, and as we pull down to 10, we'll see if we get a bounce off of 10 and see if we get any kind of a push back up there. Otherwise, I don't have any other signals on the chart until 12 o'clock tomorrow for the 1 hour. We'll see how we end up going. So 10 o'clock today, we'll look for the pullback up off of that one. Down to the half-hour chart. The half-hour chart had us at 3:30 yesterday afternoon coming into the buy zone. And sure enough, across the board, I'm missing this one chunk across all of my charts. Interesting. Yep, all of my other little boxes are in that little range where I'm missing that chunk of data. I may have to open another workspace here shortly and just experiment and see. Yeah, it scrunched them up to nothing, didn't it? I'll open another workspace and I'll experiment just to see if it's just my workspace that's causing the issue. If it is, it'll break my heart to fix it, but at least I know I can fix it. Otherwise, I'll be at NinjaTrader. I'll be at their historical data. Beck and call. All right, so we're in a buy zone as of 3:30 yesterday. We're going to be looking for a pullback down. 3:30 yesterday into 12:30 today. Bing. Yeah, let's see where that one's going to end up taking us. 12:30, not today, tomorrow. 12:30 tomorrow on the half-hour chart is expected to take us down for not a great deal of time, only until 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So from 12:30 tomorrow until 9 o'clock tomorrow night, we do have a selling zone. We'll see what the market does. Not a long time. And then we'll see what we pick up from there. We are currently in the buy side of the power zone. Going to be favoring longs all day today. So unless the market comes down and closes 2 bars below 86.34, unless that happens, we are going to be looking for buys. Market is currently down into 9 o'clock. We pulled down 1, 2, 3 bars into this time frame. 8 o'clock, we had a buy, closing the first bar below. Not a great sign. Not a great sign closing a buy signal there on the buying bar either. We'll see what happens as we're coming into 9. Little signal congestion here. Market bars are very close together. We'll see where it ended up going. Looking down to the 15. Ching. And all right, on my 15.0, yeah, you see the same dumb thing everywhere. I'm missing 100% of all my historical data right there, January 26th, and then I pick up the 30th. Isn't that special? I know I'm obsessed. It just bothers me that something is wonked and I can't fix it. I like things to work right. Deep breath. You'll be all right. All right. Trade what you see, not what you think. All right. So coming into today. We're going to come into a buying power zone this morning at 10:06. 10:06 into 6:30 on the 15. Once we get into this time frame, we're going to have full confluence between all of our time frames. So everything will be in full agreement there. And once we get all into full agreement, well, we'll see where it ends up going. Bada boom, bada boom. Yeah, we'll see what ends up transpiring right through there. All right, so 9:15. We're currently into a buy zone. We've pulled down hard into this one. 8:30, we have a time warp signal. Yeah, so we'll see what happens at 8:30. 9:15, we're going to come into a sell, short duration. We don't have a lot of time. Looks like we're going to enter it about in the middle too. And so it's just going to kind of be a weird little spot here for the next day or two. All right. Yeah, for the next, I said not next day or two, until 10 o'clock. Till 10 o'clock, not really any kind of a good concise trend. We're going to have several time warp signals back and forth, but again, until 10, there's down, up, up, down. I don't know. It's going to be strange. So I'm probably wait. The 15 is really not going to be very helpful until 10. Getting down to our entry level chart and looking at the 3-minute for our entry levels today. I'm not going to have any boxes because all my boxes are absorbed in my missing stuff. So that means I'll just make some new ones. All right, 7:48 this morning, off 7:48, here to here, cha-ching, and off of 7:48 today. Come on, Ninja, color the box. All right, so coming into the buy zone or into the mark that as a sell, sure as a world. You're just an idiot someday, boy. All right. Yeah, I got my brain rattled, guys. I'm very sorry. I will get out of my funk here in a minute. I don't normally get in that much of a funk. So when I can't fix something, it does not end. It does not go well. I'm accustomed to being able to fix just about anything. Take me a minute to get my head back in the game. Okay, so there's our buy zone. We came into this buy zone this morning. The market did invert. We closed 1, 2 bars below, took it until here. Got a small pullback up, and that zone is now over. So the last one that we came through did invert. We were short before that, and the market only gave us a very short duration pullback. The zone did tell us that we were going to be short from all the way up here. This one was a big one. It was an astronomically large one for a 3-minute chart, but it said we were going to be short until there. So that's kind of in our transition time for the day. And as we're coming into our current, well, yeah, we'll see where the current's going to be. New one's going to be down here a little further so we can see that the trend has continually dropped. We've just entered a chop zone. Now that's important. The chop zone that we just came into, typically, I wish I could say 100% of the time, but nothing's really 100%. Typically, if you look at the last 2 bars, and if you mark the high to the low, the last 2 bars, as you're coming into a chop zone, This will give you a heads up of where the price is likely to be when we come out of the chop zone. So when we come out of the chop zone, somewhere along in here, let's keep a close eye out for these price level. We expect the market will be in between my two little horizontal lines, or right there at the horizontal line, somewhere in that little very close range. When the market comes out, it's only about 13, 15 cents or so. It's not a big rail. And when we come out, well, that'll be the time and the price that we expect the market to be. Now that we're inside the chop zone, well, the market could go up, could go down, I have no idea. But as we get into this time frame, we'll start looking to see if the market's going to exit about the price it went in. I'm going to have a buy signal and a down zone, so I'm not going to have anything to do early on crude today, unless the only thing I would have to do is at 9:06. All right, so here's going to be the deal. When we get to 9:06, if the market at 9:06 is at or above the previous swing high, that means it would have to be above the highest bar that has formed since 87.79. So if we are at or above a brand new high at 9:06, because we do have a 9:03 buy, that would be an extreme entry, and that would be a pattern 5 along with the selling trend. So if the market hits an extreme high, extreme being based on the swing indicator, if we hit an extreme high at 9:06, I'm going to short the market, and we'll see where we end up going from there. So that would be a pattern 5 in agreement with a pattern 2, and we'll see if the market gives us a move there. So we'll keep a close eye out, but I want to see an extreme high come in. If we hit halfway in the middle of the zone, there's just nothing to do. But if the market hits way up here at 9:05, at 9:06, then I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to look for a return to the other side. We'll wait and see what happens when we get closer. All right, I'll mess with my data issue later. Hopefully it's only on the crude. Take a quick look at the daily warp. Yeah, it's only on the crude because there's the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, 29th. I got all my days on the Russell here. I'm only missing that historical data on the crude, which is nice. I mean, at least it's not everywhere. Okay. All right, where are we at? Russell, as of Friday, technically we put in another pattern 4. Now we had a pattern 4 last week that we got no pullback off of. This was actually a week before last. So we had no pullback off that pattern 4. The market came down, punched the low, and then we continued lower. When the market went through this price, we knew very good possibility it was going to close below where it started, and with it pushing up here into the buy, yeah, looking for it to roll right back over, and it pretty much did. Now, there's my arrow I drew last week, actually, so nice. So is the market, because Friday put in a new low, that means automatically Monday was a pattern 4. Now, this was not a tradable pattern 4. It was a brand new low, no question about it. And it happened the first bar of the sequence. It was a buying bar. So because it was a buying bar, it's not really a good clean entry bar. And then yesterday we just saw the rally right back up. So very good possibility we'll see the market come back up into 2102. We'll see what today holds. If today's bar closes above 2014, that's going to be the catalyst, or the thing that we can watch for to see if this move is likely to continue. Is if we close today above here, that's going to be the number to watch, because if it closes above 2013.9, 2014, very close. If the market closes above there, then there's a very high probability that it will come back to the dot price. Okay, that would be a pattern 4, and a pattern 4. The first bar after the signal bar, if it closes above the open price line, it's got legs to get back up to 2100. So we'll see what it does in the next, might take it a day or two, but we'll see what happens. Might do it today, who knows? But I would expect if today's bar on the daily closes above 2013.9, that we will come back to 2100. So that would be the projection forward. Next daily signal is not until next Tuesday. So we get to watch how this pattern 4 works out. And again, on the pattern 4, good possibility. It wasn't an entry 4. So unfortunately, not a good clean entry of any kind. It is a 4 either way, whether we get a piece of it or not. It doesn't mean it's not a 4. It just means it's not something we could low risk trade. Yep. All right, hang on one second, ladies and gents. Let me grab, got some folks trying to get in the room. We had some confusion on our links today. Let's get Big Colin in the room here. He's asking about it. All right. So Warp looking for the pullback up to the daily dot price. Looking at the daily cycle. All right. Let's pull this one back one because it goes to here. So on our daily cycle, yesterday, just like we saw on the crude, controlling a range bar. This one's not missing data, so this one doesn't look funky. Controlling a range bar came in yesterday. Last week, we closed our first bar below the range. Once it came out, the range didn't come out till Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and or as of Wednesday there. We closed below, which indicated that we would stay below the controlling bar range until the next cycle, which was today. So we did stay below it till Friday, got the pullback up on Monday. Monday was the new signal bar. So we did follow through for the week. Now we've got to see where this week follows through. Nice to be back on a Monday cycle, and for a little while anyway. And now today's bar becomes very important. If today's bar closes at 4 o'clock above 2013.70, we're going to go up for the rest of the week. If today's bar pulls down and closes in between or in the middle of that box somewhere, if it closes in the box, we have to wait one more day. If today's bar closes below 1960, then we're going to go down for the remainder of the week. So we will see a reversal. Interestingly, we have pattern fours today. We don't have them like this often, but we do today. Yesterday was a pattern four on both the time warp here and the daily cycle. So yesterday we had pattern four on both. Neither one was tradable. Both had the reversal bar coming in the day before the signal. Both would be expected to see a pullback up. So this one, now that we're into the controlling bar range, is closed. Again, if today's bar closes above 2014, we're going to continue up to the dot price over on the other one. So we have confluence between totally separate algorithms. They're both dealing with timing, but completely separate ways of going about it. All right. Been hanging on to, I missed one, didn't I? Been hanging on to this thing for a while. We were in the sell zone from way back here. So we've been on the selling side of this 1 hour zone for the last 2 weeks. Boom, 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 boom. And today, I'd marked it wrong, but as of today, or yesterday actually at 3 o'clock, as of 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, we came out of the sell zone back into the buy zone. And this buy zone is going to last until next Monday. So we get a week in this thing. So let's see how this one's going to play out over on the 1 hour chart as of yesterday at 3 o'clock. As of yesterday at 3 o'clock, we are now on to, let's get it marked exactly right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. All right. So we've been in the selling zone for the last 2 weeks. And now as of yesterday, the 1 hour says, hey, we're going to go up. We ended up with a pattern 5, a combination bar pattern 5. 4 o'clock yesterday would have been an opportunity to take a counter trend short, and it would not have gotten all the way to its profit target. It only made it back down to the open price line, so it was good for, well, the combination bar would have been here. So 2025, and it only pulled back to 28. So it was good for, what is that, 13, 14 points, and that's about it. Market stayed above the open price line, and now we pushed into brand new highs. This thing is on the buy side. 2 o'clock this afternoon, before any other kind of signal, the 1 hour says up for the rest of the week. So the 1 hour giving us an indication we should expect to see buying action the rest of the week. The 1 hour probably going to confirming the daily projection. All right, let me grab on our 15-minute, I'm going to change this one to a buy box. So right there we go. So last week, the last couple of days, we marked this one on Thursday at 2 o'clock. I wasn't actually here, but Thursday at actually 12 o'clock. So as of 12 o'clock on Thursday, that was the range, and that range was going to extend all the way until yesterday afternoon at 1. So that was the range of the market. Yes, Bill, let me figure it out. So that one carried us to here. As of yesterday at 1:30 over on the 15, we get our numbers right. We came all the way to the top edge of that zone again. We'd been below it. That last selling run, it kept us solid down for the last 2 days. Hard rally up, all just in the last little bit of it. And in the overnight, it was a mess. Look at all the congestion here. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. What a mess. 4:15 yesterday afternoon, we did come into a selling zone that was expected to last us until 4:30 this morning. So let's shorten these down a little bit. Not long. I don't see a real long duration one at the moment. Right there would have been the move from 4:15 yesterday, and this one was over early this morning. So that one ended at 4:30. We were favoring shorts through this time frame. Blah blah blah. What? So signal congestion again right through there. Wow, what a mess. All right, and 3:30 this afternoon. Yeah, this thing's been a toast. 4:30 up and 5:45 down, 6:15 chop zone area. Off the chop zone area, it looks like that was projected to be a sell, I think. Yeah. So, well, yeah, that's it. Sell till 3:30. Kind of a mess. There's the high, there's the low. All right, so we do not have confluence today between time frames. So at the moment, we'll see who wins the battle here. But at the moment, come along in there. So at the moment, we are in a sell zone. We have a buy signal. The swing low was already projected, been on the chart for a while. The swing high, this one was not in place until later. This one was in place. So 2030 is the high of the range. If the market closes 2 bars above the top, then the 60 and the 15 will be in agreement. If it doesn't, well, then we don't have full confluence among time frames, that's for sure. Next signal up, we had an 830 sell. That would have been in the direction, in the projected direction. Got a little issue with it because we did close a selling bar at a selling time, and then the very first bar after it closed above the open price line. Those two things combining, not making me warm and fuzzy about this chart. So yeah, probably going to see the continuation up here into 10 o'clock. So we'll see if 10 o'clock gives us a reversal. So 10 o'clock, if we get a higher high at 10, we'll get a pattern 5, and that'd be a really strong pullback. We only get 1 bar in it, as we do have signal congestion here, 10, 10:15, and then 10:45. It's fairly tight. A lot of volatility is expected there, but just a bunch of back and forth. It's not likely to be, yeah. If I wasn't looking for a pattern 5 at 10, I wouldn't do anything with this range until 10:45 because there's just not enough time. 2 bars is just not enough time to play. We just want to be aware that it's out there, I guess, for the morning. So sell on the 15, buy on the 1 hour. All right. The 5 minute, let's see, do I have any boxes? There's some from last week. So good. I hate having to redraw these every day. And dum da da. All right. We entered Is that really it? I guess so. All right, we entered a selling zone. Wait a minute, let me get my bearings right. Something missing it. Where was it? Right there, 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. As of 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon on the 5-minute, there was the high, there was the low. So cast forward. This is an abnormally long power zone. You get these occasionally, but not normally. And look at that sucker. She inverted sure as the world. All right. It sure did. So this morning at 3:20, we ended up with a pattern 5. It closed more than 2 bars above the top of the range. That was the range, and that means from there until the end of time. But until 10:15 today, we will be favoring the long. We have daily support coming back in the market here. Let's see what she's going to do. Up until 10:15. All right. Yeah. Sure enough, closed 3 bars above that said we were going to trend higher then after that. Nice pullback down into a pattern 4. Nice punch through. We have another pattern 4 at 7:10 this morning. Yeah, everything on the 5 minutes pointing up. After 10:15 today, we're going to reset the top and bottom. But after 10:15, let's see what the market ends up giving us. 10:15 to 3 o'clock this afternoon. Looks like basically the 5 minutes going to have us preferring longs for the remainder of the day. So we've got some time. We'll see what the market gives us through there. All right, crude, hard move up, hard move down, coming into the crude open. Let's get the ES out of the way. Over on the Russell, we'd have a 5 minute is short, the 1 hour is long, the 5 minute is long, the daily is long, and the other daily says it doesn't know until the end of the day. So majority of our time frames over on that one are still saying up. Jumping over to the EAS over on the weekly, we've had the pullback, and now as of this coming Friday, we were already started on the bar. We had to move down until last week over on our weekly chart, and now we are looking for a move up again. So the ES is back on the buy side until April. Okay, so our weekly chart has us up until April. Interesting. I would like for this bar, it would really make me happy actually, if the bar that we're on right now kind of hovered around here. If we were to close a doji, that would be cool. Last week, yeah, we may be off by 1 bar on our weekly chart, but we'll watch and see. But if we were to close a doji down here, or a selling bar would actually make me very happy. So if we had a selling bar into the buying time, I'd buy some more spider stock right there if we got it. But let's see what's going to happen as of Friday. It could still happen. Again, we got 4 more days to play. If this ends up being a selling bar, I'm going to buy some spider stock at the end of the week and hold it until April. So we'll see what the market gives us there. On to the buy side, though, as of the end of the week. Where are we at on our daily? All right, Thursday last week, nice move down into Thursday. We were recovering from a pattern 4, never did breach. The pattern 4 has now hit the profit target. So remember last week, we were talking about based on the pattern 4 that we should pull back up and we should hit 45.14. With the market coming and hitting 45.14, then we see them pull right back up. We have hit it as of today. And yeah, it really didn't give a lot of confirmation down here at the open price, but we did hit it as of yesterday, actually. And today in the overnight, we've hit it again. So now we're back into another sell cycle. So we're going to see where the market goes by the end of the day today. If we push up, the pattern 4 target has been completed. We're now testing the average price, and not a surprise to get a small pullback for a day or so, but we don't know where today's bar is going to close out yet. Steve, my settings for the daily, I'm glad you asked. because I honestly don't know either. I'm using swing of 5, 12, 26, and 7. So 12, 26, and 7. And these would be weeks because we're on a daily chart. So 12, 26, and 7. And make sure, whoops, I should have done that, but make sure when you're on your daily chart, Steve, make sure that you load, go to your data series, and I load 10,000 days, which sounds like a really big number, but it's only like, it only gets you back to like 2008 or something. I mean, it's not like it goes forever. It's not nearly as many days as you think it would be. 365 days a year. And again, data only goes to 08. So yeah, there you go. Sweet. All right, so we're up into the sell cycle. So let's keep in mind the ES by the end of the day, likely to start seeing a rollback over. We're going to have major resistance back at 45.81. Target 4, or the target for the pattern 4, has been attained from last week. If we look up to our daily cycle, this one did not give the full follow through. That's because it was a pattern 4 and because sometimes the market is annoying. The market last week, we identified, hey, Colin, there you go. Good to see you get back in, brother. So last week, we identified that there was a push down. We had the pattern 4, and we have now pulled up into the time warp target for that pattern 4. Now we're going to remark the daily. So we didn't get the full follow through that we expected. Missed it by 1 bar. Starting over again today, and this one will be in place this week, there's our new controlling bar range. So off the new controlling bar range, we'll see where the market ends up taking us, but good possibility. Well, we don't know yet. This one says we have to wait till the close of the day. If today's bar closes above 45.04.5, we're going to go up until Monday. If we come back down, if we close below 44.22, we're going to go down until Monday. And if we stay somewhere in the middle, well, then we have to wait until we get above or below. So yeah, Colin, there was remember last Thursday we were talking about this pattern 4 profit target. So that was the projection that we were looking for on Thursday, where we had these 2 lines close together. We hit it this morning. So as of this morning, that move is complete. And we have completed that move, and we'll see if it's going to make the move back down now, or where it's going to go. I got to kind of wait till the end of the day, and we'll see what happens there. Where is this pig? Gosh almighty, this thing's still. Okay. We're still on the sell side. We got a few days to go, like until next Monday. We've had such a huge move over on this ES 1 hour. It's been a huge move. And the 1 hour still says down. Now, in all of that huge movement we've seen, we've been in this zone now since January the 16th or 18th or something. So we've been here for a while. And here we are in February. So the last 2 solid weeks, and we have 1 week to go in the selling zone. Well, we've been favoring shorts the entire time. So ever since at 11 o'clock in the morning, back again 2 weeks ago. So the 1 hour has consistently had a short this entire time frame. Now that we've had a pullback up in the 1 hour, oops, wait a minute. I missed a move. Dadgummit, I sure have. There's a signal that's jumped in there and I didn't see it. See right there, 3 o'clock. I did not see that punk. Sure enough, there's one in between that I missed. How did I miss it? Hang on. Sure enough, I didn't go look, but it's one in between. Where's the other side of it? Right there. Buy, sell. I apologize. Guys, I missed one. There was one in between, sure enough, right there. So as of 3 o'clock yesterday, this thing actually changed over. I'm sitting here looking for a short for another week, which might still, but as of here, this would be the other side. I missed one in between. Huh. Okay. What happens if you don't pay attention? Go here. That one's, the end is still the same, but there was a whole other cycle in between the two. Let's change this to green, because green is the color for a little while. All right. So we entered a pattern 5 yesterday morning, or yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Swing low is easy, swing high was easy, brand new high, small pullback. Didn't give the pattern 5 pullback, just gave a little bit. It did give some pullback, but not a tremendous amount. We're on the buy side of this thing. If our market will pull us down until 11 o'clock, 11 o'clock is going to give a continuation. Let's make the bars bigger because they're so small. I've got these double areas of resistance hanging on right here. Right in the middle of them is the pattern 4 target. So we hit it this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if the market hits 11 o'clock and a brand new high, that's going to be a pattern 5. We want to be very cautious there. We would have a pattern 5 at the pattern 4 profit target for the daily. Blah, blah, blah. That's a mouthful of crap. So there's a lot going on right in that area. We want to be very careful today, right around 11 o'clock. Again, we have a swing high that is in place now at 45.14. And if we hit a new high at 11, likely that 11 o'clock will give us a pullback, probably to the top of the power zone. So we'll see where it goes from there. Till 11 o'clock, there's not really a lot going on. 15. See where my 15-minute is. I'm gonna steal this range from last week because I like to recycle. And do I have a green one? Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and get it on the chart. All right. 6:15 last night. On the 15-minute, 6:15 last night said the market should give us a pullback, and we were expecting the shorting action until 10:30 today on the 15-minute. Oh, look at there, by rights. Man, by rights, I should be calling this inverted. We had a candle close above 3:15 this morning. We hit the target, or we hit the pattern 4 target, that same area. Talked about it multiple times already, but at 3:15, it was a pattern 5. That's an overextended market. The market did get back down inside. It took it 4 bars. We normally would only give it 2. This one came straight back to its profit target off the short, the very pretty short at 45.12. Targets attained. And since then, as of just a few minutes ago, the market has closed above again. This thing's going to close higher. So again, by rights, we gave it 3 bars. It took 4. Targets attained, and now it's closed another one all the way over here. So at least from this point forward, we're going to be looking for longs over on the ES 15 as well. So I'm going to mark that as a long area until we get into the next major reversal at 10:30. So favoring longs from now, rest of the day until 6:15 or 3:15 this afternoon. So until 3:15 this afternoon, we're going to be looking for buying action over on the ES. That means we got to get a pullback down before we can get a buy back up. So we'll see what it's going to end up doing. You know what? We are at that time frame. And yeah, I said earlier that we just coming out of the crude. And there is our crude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there is our crude range. I have no signals through here. I got a buy signal, that's about it, but it's counter trend and I'm not really interested. So I got nothing. The signal I was looking for would have been the extreme high, and the market hit the extreme low. So I don't really have a lot to see there at the moment on the crude. I just remember that 10:06 time, or 9:06 hit. All right, on my ES. Colin, you weren't here earlier for my complete lost my mind rant. I didn't lose my mind entirely, but I did get agitated. So I'm glad you weren't here for that. I didn't lose any money, but I lost 2 days of data. So somehow or another, my Ninja Trader will not show me anything that we did on Thursday or Friday last week. So I have no data on any crude chart for Thursday or Friday. I'm missing both days' historical data. Aggravates me to no end, obviously, since I'm still talking about it. So ding here to here. We're inverted on this one. Let me just get the markings down. So on our ES 5-minute, we entered yesterday There's the low. Here's the high. 425 yesterday afternoon. We came into a short zone. That short zone continued to be in play until 1, 2, 3, right there. So we were on the shorting power zone until this morning at 3:30. At 3:30, we missed being a pattern 5 by literally 1 bar, and closing 3 bars above or 2 bars above the top. Well, at that point, we're going to be favoring longs until 10:10. And then after 10:10 today, we're going to continue to favor the longs. So it looks like the trend opportunities, I'm going to be basically looking for any buying opportunity I can find today until 3 o'clock. So for my whole morning, everything on my ES says the trend is still projected to be up. So we'll see where it's going to go. Looking across the morning, we ended up with a buy just a little while ago. The market, not the cleanest entry in the world, not a low risk, that's for sure. With the market closing a buying bar at a buying time, and it was a new high. It was a pattern 5. There's a push higher, and this thing just ground its way all the way up until we hit the high again. We're now into the sell cycle at 905. Counter trend, not interested. If we got a pattern 5, I am. For a pattern 2, I'm not. And it looks like my next shot of any kind is really not going to be until 10 o'clock. Okay. So my ES, I don't really have anything to do until, well, 10 o'clock. 10:05 and 10:10, I will get confluence of time frame, but I got to watch and see what the market gives me between now and then. So it looks like for the ES today, going to be a slow starter. So the ES is going to be a slow starter. 10:30 coming into the buy there. We're already on the buy signal here into 11. Yeah, so for the ES, I'm not going to have a whole lot to get me going until 10 o'clock. So kind of a slow burn on that one today. All right, crude again. We're into a buying or selling power zone. The market has started. The market entered the selling power zone at a pattern 4. I actually should have still bought it down here because it was a pattern 4. That actually would have been a clean entry, but the risk would have been kind of big. The risk was going to have to be 51 from the long at 87. That's a lot. That's because that wick was so huge. Yeah. If it pulled, I wouldn't do anything with it right this moment. So if you did manage to get the pattern 4 at the entry, the pattern 4 here says that the market will likely come back to 87.74. So we'll see what it ends up doing, but 87.74 will be probably retested. So because it's a pattern 4, that's probably going to be the place that it goes, and it may even go higher, but most likely it'll just pull back up into there. Once we come in 933, if we are at an extreme, like we were in an extreme here, 933, I have a sell and a buy coming in at the same time of day. Again, if we're hitting a brand new high, then that's going to be a pattern 2 in agreement with a pattern 5. So as long as we're at an extreme within 1 bar of 933, I can fade the extreme in either direction. I gotta wait to see what the price is when we get there. I won't have anything on crude until basically 9:30. So it's gonna be a slow start, guys, for the week. 9:35 is the only signal that I have that's anywhere near the open, and that's my nearest one today. So yeah, we'll see where they are. What are the 60-minute ES settings? I got nothing else. Let's look, Steve, because I really don't know. Oh, I have a 28 on that one. My apologies. I actually honestly didn't know that I had that, but I have it. So, yep, on my 1 hour chart, I have an extra one right there, 7:14:20. I did not. I honestly don't remember when I did that, because obviously I did do it because it's still there. But normally I just run the 7:14:21 on the ES. At some point in time, I must have decided that. Interesting. At some point in time, I must have done some analysis and figured out that that was pretty good on the 1 hour chart. Yeah, there's a lot of overhead pressure here, Colin. I agree. I totally agree. These two yellow lines, 45.15 and 45.09, again, all the way out to the weekly. Bam, the weekly's there. The daily warp, that's the profit target from that pattern 4 from last Tuesday. So the profit target from last Tuesday, that was that P4. We hit it, and those are double resistance layers hanging on really close together. In fact, it's the only ones on my chart that are that close. I mean, they are tight. So we got two heavy resistance layers, and we're sitting back at the average price. So the ES, I totally agree that the longs up here, I would like to see a pullback down before I would get a buy. So, yeah. And as I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, as I said it earlier, if the market will pull down and if it'll give me a sell by the end of the week, not just today, but I'm looking to buy some more spider stock if I can get a move down into Friday. So if this gives up either a doji week or by Friday I have a little bit of red, I don't need a lot. If I have a lot of red, that's just going to make me buy more stock. But if I have a little bit of red, or if I have a doji candle by Friday this week, then I'm going to pick up a few more shares of spider and hang on to them until April. But I would like to see that move over. So until April is our next signal on the weekly. So that was my plan I mentioned earlier, for my stock side of things. Nothing to do on it at the moment. All right, so we're gonna have a slow burn to get us moving today. Okay. I wonder. I'm gonna try something. Since I got a few minutes, I have no setups of any kind. I'm gonna put some tunes on, ladies and gentlemen. A few minutes here. I'm still listening. Yes, thank you. And I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna do some weird stuff here for a second. I'm loading up a secondary data feed that I have to see if I can get my crude daily bars and my crude data back from last week. Different data provider here. It bugs me when something's broken. It drives me insane. Sweet, I got it back. Yes. It's something to do with my continuum feed. My continuum feed is whacked. So right there, I'm missing data. Came back on the 1 hour, and let's get this one back on. And then once I get my data back, it'll be in my cache, and then I'll switch back to my other feed again. So there's something in my continuum feed from my stage 5 that's not jiving. Perfect. All right, so slow burn to get us going for the week. Again, some days that's just how it rolls. There they are. See, now I knew I wasn't just losing my mind this morning. I knew I wasn't losing my noodles. Now I might have really been losing noodles, but I knew good and well that we had hit that price level. I remember trading off of it last week. Sweet. Got my daily bars back. That's going to fix my weekly bars. Yes, it did. Sorry, guys. Something gets out of wonk. It just drives me nuts until I figure out how to fix it. All right, so now I can go back to my other account. And I don't have to reload my data. Strange, very strange. That looks a lot better. $88.50. I'm thinking $88.50 is going to give this thing a hard time. We're at a daily split. Now that my days are back in there, I can see crude. I'm gonna go back to revisit crude for a second. I don't have anything setting up to trade, so. All right, now that I've got my last two bars in, right there was where we traded this thing Wednesday or Thursday and Friday last week. We bounced off that daily resistance level. We have hit that sucker. We missed it yesterday by a couple of pennies, but basically the 88.50 level from back in 2000 and where did that come from? That level came from 2015. So that level was 7 years old. So from 7-year-old level, we're seeing significant resistance already coming back in the market at 88.50. Weekly, again, this weekly is not very helpful until next week, so not really showing me anything. But I do have a daily, I've got a daily sell. It's pretty obvious. We've hit resistance. We have to wait till the bar closes, but it certainly looks a lot like crude is getting a little toppy. So we've hit this thing basically 4 consecutive days. We have found resistance so far at 88.47. So crude over on the dailies, very, very toppy right now. Putting in that pattern 5 in the overnight, the sell signal at 1 o'clock this morning has driven us back down. So the 1 hour is still on the buy side. 10 o'clock, if we don't get this pull up, then we'll see where it's going to go. I don't have any other signals still until 12 o'clock tomorrow, but let's keep a close eye out for this bad boy, because this thing's likely, based on what I'm seeing here, it looks a lot like this market may just continue to bounce in between these two daily support and resistance levels. So the 1 hour says the closer we get to 52, we should see a bounce up. The daily says probably not going to get back up above 48, but that's going to be a really good level or a litmus for us to test it by. And right now, pattern 4, boom ow. Now that's a pattern 4 with a gigantic wick. really big pattern 4, 9 o'clock this morning over on the 30-minute. 30-minute says watch for the push right back up off that pattern 4. Now I'm getting all my charts reloaded. Come on, 15. All right, our 15-minute also putting in a pattern 4 on a, wow, pattern 4 on the 15. It also says looking for a return to 88.33. We have a chop zone on the 15. It's going to be messy till 10 o'clock, so I'm probably not going to rely on it till 10, but we want to be aware that this morning the 30-minute and the 15 are both putting in pattern 4s right now between 9:15 and 9:30 and indicating that that would be a buy. We did have the pattern 4, nothing on the 3. So the 3-minute we hit the, yeah, it was a pattern 4 on the power zone, beginning of the 3. All of those indicating a return to 87.75 or up to 88.50. So watch for the push up. 9:33 is my next signal of any kind. Right now I have nothing to do, but the pattern 4 is establishing the low, and that's important. It's a very good possibility we see a low of day right there based on the intraday bars. And it'd be interesting to see if we come back up and if the market punches 88.50. I mean, when I say punches, I mean if we go more than 15 cents through it. If we punch it, there's a long way for this sucker to go to get back up into $95 a barrel. So again, I don't have anything between here and $95 a barrel. So yeah, see where we're going to go. If the crude hits at 927, if we hit 87.75 or higher, and that's in the next couple of minutes, let's reload the script here. Switching data providers messes up bars and such. Fixes some things, messes up others. Come on, get my bar timer back. There we go. So we have 1 minute and 28 seconds. If we hit this price in 1 minute 28 seconds, it's going to be a relatively low risk short. First opportunity of the day for a low risk trade. So I'm looking for a low risk short. If it goes anything much above it, we won't have a lot of time in it. But again, if we're also entering this new zone at the extreme high, that forms a pattern 5. So between 927 and 933, I will have a low risk short over on the crude. I'm not going to risk a whole lot on it either. It's right at the open. We'll see. Has to hit here. If it doesn't hit 75, then it's not a trade. So pattern 5 coming in now over on the Russell. We are generally looking for buying opportunities over on the Russell. All right, we are open. Got a little pump and dump action. I don't have any timing signals to go with it. So the market pumped up back into our double daily resistance levels on the ES. I got nothing. So I'm just watching it with you guys. Watch the market and be happy. Pattern 5 over on the Russell, we pushed up into the open of the bar, right off the open of the bar, retest to the overnight high. The market is dropping like it's hot. On the crude's the only one that I was going to have a potential entry on, and at this moment I still got nothing there either. So I don't have anything to do, nothing. NADA. Actually, I do have something to do because I really don't have anything significant setting up. I may end up with a pattern 5, but it's going to have to hustle. Doesn't look like it's going to give it to me either. If we get a pull down for the next 3 minutes, I could get a buy off the ES. Oh, not off the ES, but the crude here. That's all I got. I got nothing else except time for me to get a new cup of coffee. So I'm gonna go freshen my coffee up, and yeah, I'm gonna start looking to get serious about something here at. Looks like the ES will start getting serious about 10 o'clock. Crude, we're pulling down into the buy. If this one will push down and give me a, actually, you know what? We're on a buy time. It's a buy, double buy here. I don't know. Let's wait for the bar to close. I'll be back before that bar closes, 3 minutes. I'd like to see a selling bar. If I can see a selling bar here, then it's a lower risk buying opportunity on crude to see if we're going to reach us the top of that power zone. I'm not going to get no entry on the Russell. 955 is the next one up. All right, I'll be back.
In my mind, I'm gone, Carolina, and it seems sunshine, and you just feel the moonshine. Maybe it's like a friend of mine, me from behind. Yes, I'm gone, Carolina, in my mind. And she's still the sun, just for her way one shine. Sure, what's the point? Till the tears feel me now from crying, ain't I on Caroline? Ain't no doubt no one's mine, but mine stick around. Whisper something soft behind. Hey, baby, sky's on fire. I'm dying, ain't I on Caroline in my mind. In my mind, I'm on Carolina, and you see the sunshine, and you just feel the moonshine. Angels like heaven, looking from behind. Yes, I'm on Carolina in my mind. Up inside and late last night, I might have heard the highway call. He said, flight, dog, bite. Signs it might be over. Say I'm going, going on Carolina in my mind. With almost the water hanging around me, still I'm on the side. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. But forgive me if I'm looking on Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm gone Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? It is like a friend of mine. You keep on behind, 'cause I'm gone Carolina in my mind. Gone Carolina in my mind. I'm gone Carolina in my mind. Gone Carolina in my mind. Sunday came, trashed me out again. I was only having fun, wasn't hurting anyone, and we all enjoyed the weekend for the change. I'm back on now, fit the style alone, even though I'm on a cycle of the rain. And you told me to try, but I made it overnight. So you said that's all it proves that it's sad. But it just made me the rule you're looking for. Turn out the lights, don't try to save me. You made it wrong, but you made it right. Remember how I found you there, alone in your electric chair. Until it smiled. You were lonely for a man. I said, take me as I am. You smiled and joined the plan. I think about it. You tried to find someone who satisfied you. As you say, if a place then it's true that it's all because of you. Any other way, you made me right. I made it great. Oh, but it's just made me a lunatic. You're looking for the fight. Too late.
Wow. All right, well, we've had the pattern 5 over on the Russell. There's the pullback. Down to the dot price. That's not a good sign. Tell you what, over on crude, if this thing will push back up, man, the risk is here. We're sitting at, the ES is not going to be crazy today, nor is the Russell. The crude's a little up there. Crude, we're sitting at 23 cents per bar. We have 10 seconds to close this bar out. Since the last buy signal, the market's pulled down to right at the dot value. If this thing punches and closes a bar above, I'm gonna take a little opportunity on it. If we get, but I want it to get above the high that we've sent in that last signal. So we finally got a buying bar. And now if the market will get up above 87.41, I'm going to treat it like a breakout trade. I don't have a whole lot of hope in it, but if it does, I'll take the break up, and I'm just going to look for $100 or $150 or something on the break. If it pulls down, and if we retest, gosh, we'd have to retest here. If we retest at 86.54, I don't think it's going to, but if it should do that thing by 9.54, then I'd buy it again. The 15 is still on, the 15 is entering a chop zone. We're still in that pattern 4. The 30-minute solid pattern 4 touch, not a good entry pattern 4 because it did close a buying bar. So it's not a good entry pattern 4 either way. It is still a buy, but not a good clean entry there. And on the 1 hour, as of 10 o'clock, we are going to come into the buy signal. We are retesting the average price of the last 120 bars, and earlier that bar did test the daily support level. So I think we're going to bounce in between daily support and resistance. Based on what this is, my order is going to be, like about halfway. So I'm going to look for a breakout and retest the tops. So Going to be in a 15-minute. We're coming into a chop zone area. Not much to see. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Looks like 10 o'clock. This thing should start to rally based on the higher time frames on the crude. 10 o'clock is also looking for that push up on the ES. We had the pump and dump this morning, so the market pumped up, double daily resistance levels, and there's the pullback down. All right, ES, we're back down to, going to have daily support. This is where the market opened. So we've pulled back down to a support level here. Open price line of the current power zone as well. So we opened and the open price line 44.92. We'll see if support holds. I'm coming up to 10 o'clock, 10:05 and 10:10. My next opportunities out the gate there. So right now there's the zone. Still got about 3 bars to go. We're sitting kind of close to the lows. At this moment, it would be here for the new power zone, but we'll watch and see what happens in the next minute or two. Well, isn't that going to be interesting? So the Russell has a sell signal at 9:55, which is 8 minutes from now. If the market continues this pull down, we've already punctured this low. We've already punctured this low. And if we continue this little drawback, we're going to have a pattern 5 into a pattern 4. So a 5 into a 4. A 5 into a 4. That means off the pattern 4 at 9:55, I may get a buying opportunity. So if we pull down, if we continue pushing down, at least this bar, then we're already technically on our pattern 4 because this is the bar before. We do have a range expansion bar. That last bar was significantly larger than any of the previous 5. And so over on the Russell, 9:55 is looking like we may very well get a pattern 4, which means I'm going to buy the market at 9:55. I'm going to buy the pullback. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, is it not kind of comforting for those of you guys that are kind of newer in my room? Some of you guys have been around forever. Some of you are new. There's several of you here today that are new. There's a comfort in being able to look at the market first thing in the morning and know there's really no reason for me to get excited about doing anything till 10 o'clock because there's no signals. There's nothing that fits with what we want to do. For me, I don't know about you, but I find that very comforting. I know when to start staring at the market again. It's the little things. Mhm. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get anything on this crude. Mhm. Actually, that right there might not be a bad run. This is true. It is Back to the Future. That is true, Michael. Yeah, this is gonna be messy for a little while. Excuse me. Oh, isn't that interesting? All right, well, I have a longer duration trend move. I got so rattled this morning on crude that I don't think I actually finished doing my analysis, but I got agitated when I didn't have the data. But all right, so it looks like we're going to have a longer duration buying trend is expected to kick in on crude at 10:09. So we've got a little bit of time left. I did see a 15-minute. This is going to be right at the 15-minute open price line, but it's got 8 minutes yet to close this candle out. This is fairly close to the bottom of the 15-minute power zone. This is actually the open price line of that 945 signal. So I placed a buy order there. So if the market comes back down and fills me, I'm not going to chase it up, but we are entering from a chop zone. We are entering the new buy time. So if I can get a fill here based on the 15, that's me had to pull back down there, then I'll take that. At about 15 or 20 cents of risk. Volatility again on the crude this morning, it is a little on the high side as we are sitting at about 25 pips per bar. All right, had the pattern 4. Russell, pattern 4 did not give me an entry yet. I need a selling bar to retest 2007. Ended up with a buying bar, so no entry there. Looks like I'm gonna get a really slow start for the day. I believe this is the first day I've had in a long time where I didn't have some kind of a trade in the first 30 minutes. In fact, I don't remember the last time I had a morning where the first half hour I didn't even have an entry. And today is certainly one. I don't see anything on my chart yet worth trading today. So a little bit of an oddball day. Some days you get those. Not often, but they do happen. All right, entering a chop zone over on the crude for the entry chart. 1006. 1006 and 1009. Let's see where the market stands. If we get anything worth entering there. All right. Well, the sell zone over on the Russell, we tested the top of it, slammed it right back down again. We're now into a counter trend buy on the 15. So the 15 top of the zone is holding. The 60 top of the zone is holding support. So wow, that's a junky market. Stuck between support and resistance from the 15 to the 60. The 5 minute is still claiming long for a few more minutes anyway. Let's see what we're going to get here. 10:05, we're going to come into a buy time. I would love to see a selling bar at 10:05. If the bar we're on right now pulls down for the next minute and 52 seconds and puts in a new low, that would be anything below 2007. Especially if we're getting close to the end of that bar, I may pick up a pattern 4 last ditch effort trade right there. So last bar. So we're on the very last bar of the potential for the pattern 4. A selling candle at the selling bar after a pattern 4 does not lend itself very well to a sell. So this is everything is still pointing up. If we close at the open price line, I'm going to buy the market here. So with the buy time coming, minute 14 seconds. Let's see where this bar we're on right now closes. Again, if the bar we're on here closes at or above 2014.90 in a 1 minute, I'm going to buy this market. See if I can't get a reasonable fill. I will put my risk just below the bar. Let's go ahead and get an order ready. See if I have anything on my 1 minute chart to help me. There was the low, the pattern 4 back at 1046 or 946. Junk, junk, junk. It's like 1003. We're gonna have a 1005. 15 seconds to close the bar. Looks like we're gonna close above. And this is gonna be a pattern 4 with the first bar closing above the open price line. See if I can get a fill here at 15. I do have a buy signal coming in just about a minute, and I got a fill. All right, so that closed above, giving me an indication that there's a good possibility we end up making it back to the dot price. So I'm going to give this thing a little bit of room for a minute. We're coming into the buying time, and I'm going to buy. Wow, look at that sucker go! I was going to say I'm going to buy it again if I'm upside down at 10:05 on the 10:05 bar. You know what? I bet we had econs out and I wasn't even paying attention. We did. Crap. I should have been paying more attention. Didn't even look at the econs this morning. I got aggravated with my data feed. So we got econs coming out. Today is the 1st of February. What do we have here? ISM manufacturing, pretty much as expected. JOLTS job openings coming in at 10 point better than expected. Construction spending month to month, 0.2. That's a lot worse than expected. So that number is way down. ISM manufacturing prices also coming out. So there's a lot of stuff hitting right here. Give it a minute to solve itself. And again, if I'm down by the close of the bar, we got a little knee-jerk reaction here off the econ. I'm going to buy the market again at the close of the bar on the Russell and see if we can't get a push on back up. This is now a pattern 4 on this 10-15 bar. So we have a pattern 4. Man, that sucker's screaming. Look at it go. Pattern 4 on the 15. Counter trend. It's going to be a counter trend pattern 4 on the 15. We are still well inside the buy zone here with a new buy zone starting at 10.15. So 10.15 looks like a pretty substantial little pop. Hanging on for just a second. I should have paid attention. I would have waited till the bar closed at 10 o'clock if I'd have remembered we had econs. I didn't. So what happens when you wake up and you're like, nothing's seemed to going right. Kind of messes up the mojo thought process for a little while. All right. Well, I'm not going to let it mess it up with so much. We're beyond that now. All right. Last econ of the day is now upon us. 10:05 to 10:10. The close of the 10:05 bar over on the ES. We've had a nice pullback down. Make sure I'm not standing in the way of anything. Between 10:15 and 10:30, even the 11 o'clock bar, all of my ES charts are saying we should see a rollback over. Everything except for the daily, and the dailies, we're inside the zone. So again, big run up in the overnight there, or yesterday. We are on a sell side on the daily, but not till the end of the day. So got to be careful for that one. Minute and 30 seconds. Well, that's a pretty substantial move to happen in just a 3-minute window. Again, I should have waited for the econ. 10:05 looks like 10:07 is going to give me a potential pattern 4. Daily support's going to be back in at 1988, so it looks like 10:07 probably is going to be my scale in time. All right, over on the crude, we're exiting the chop zone. We have one more bar before we come into the 10:09 buy signal. We do have a new range established by the swings. So the swings are now telling us that's our current range. ES is going to be testing its overnight low. I might actually get a little buy action down here on the ES. Buy zone 2, 1. Oh, come on. Well, that gave me the fill. All right. I'm going to leave my risk just below the overnight low. Our volatility is off the reservation here. Oh, come on. Come on. Roll back up. 9 points. Well, shoot. I gave it 5. Close of the bar. I'm going to buy it again. Wow. That was a lick. $10.09. All right, crude's coming into the buy zone. 10:09 across the board. Got several things happening here. I'm going to buy into the, I'm going to scale into my position. ES, I got taken out by the wick. Still looking for to see a push back up there. Got 3 minutes to close that bar out. I got 12 seconds. Going to get the pattern 4 here on the Russell. Come on, give me the fill. Don't go. There you go. Yes, I was waiting on the dumb bar to close. Oh, that was the price. They wicked me out. I got wicked out over on the ES. That sucked. Two minutes to close out this bar. See if I can get another entry about the same price. Piece of trash. Jeez. All right. They punched right through. All right, crude launching up. Up. I was waiting on the bar to close on crude. Looks like we're going to put in a pattern 5. Isn't that going to be interesting? So crude putting in a pattern 5 here. We'll take that buy limit order off because we are going to put in a pattern 5. And the close of the bar, crude has a potential for a counter trend, low risk short. Be very counter trend. Everything, all my other charts are saying up. The only chart that I'm seeing anything at all, and this is counter trend, but it's a fairly low risk counter trend. So see if I can get a fill here. I need something less than 10 cents at risk. Dummy yes. 3, 2, 1. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm willing to give it 2 pips above the top. That's it. So 82 into 88, I got $50 at risk, or $60 at risk. If it goes above that, that's all the risk it gets out of me. My profit target, if it rolls back, it's going to be all the way down here. Pattern 5. At the beginning of a power zone, pattern 5. Come on, yes, 30 seconds to close this bar out. And I'm out. So that was all the risk that I was willing to give. A counter trend move, very counter trend move. 10 seconds over on the ES. Come on. My original entry was here. The volatility is 10 points per bar. I only gave it 5. I should have given it more. And I didn't. It's going to move right on back up again. And you pig. You pig. You are so freaking annoying. Oh, man. I got hung out by the wick. Well, shoot. Tell you what, if you'll pull back and give me that same entry again, that's a lower risk area. I may just miss this trade. I got the piece of it, stopped out on the wick. If it gives me the same thing all over again, I have a much cleaner place now to chunk. All right, well, we'll see what it does. If it pulls down and puts in a new low or retests the low at 10.25, then I will buy it again there too. That would be a pattern 4. So hang 10 here for a second, guys. Well, it's going to give me one more shot at it, isn't it? All right, you know what? I took a 5-point hit off that dumb wick out the bottom. I think I'm going to at least get my 5 points back. Market sucks. I hate them when they wick me out like that. Drives me bananas. But it's not a bad fill. Again, it's the same fill I had earlier. Up 8 points in the move. Let's see, we've got 2 minutes to close the bar. It's my second run at the same trade. I'm going to get 7 points. So it can give me $100 back after it gives me all my money back. Aggravating rascal. Piss me off. Hate it when it stops me like that. Quick. All right. Get your head in the game, boy. Coming into the buy zone now over on the Russell. And the Russell, we are now into the buy projected trend. We are projecting the trend to be up until. So I'm entered the trend move. My scale-in price is really close to the bottom. Looking for a first exit here. We're going back up into 2016. I grabbed, again, 7 points off the ES. I should have left it going, but I wanted to get my cash back. That's called revenge trading, and it's really not something that's preferable to do. It's better to have a plan and trade the plan. If the market will pull down, I do have another plan, by the way. So I'm still looking for buys over on the ES. I'm expecting that we may pull down from here and retest the bottom at 1025. If the market does that, then I'm going to buy it as a pattern 4. So I've got 1025 and 1045 signal. If it pushes on up, then it just pushes on up, and I'll look for something else to do at 1045. Took a ton of heat over on the Russell with the econ. Today's one of those days, coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right, I'm gonna take one position off at 6 points over on the Russell and go ahead and lock in a little profit off of that one. Let's get a sell stop limit put on here. Close of the bar. If it keeps pushing on up, wonderful. If it does, again, I'll look for a retest at the top of that power zone. As it is, I am going to go to a free position. I don't think I'm going to take a loss on this thing at all. So I need to get up here where I can get out of it if I need to. 2011, that's going to lock me in, what, 14 points over on the second half of that position. If it keeps going up, great, but this guarantees me that I'll make money on the combination of the two trades. The first one I basically got out with about a 2-point stop based on the average price. And now the second one, I'm going to make it back up and then some. So going to go to 2011. Let's see if it'll push on up into the sell time. Well, it's not going to. It's going to take me out. Okay. A lot of back and forth stuff here at the first few minutes of the finally getting some trading action. All right, I'm flat for the moment. That was kind of an adventurous 10 minutes. All flat for me. I am expecting to see if we can get a pull down on the ES. If this ES will, now that we've closed at least one bar above the open price line for that power zone, it kind of locks it in for me. Now, if the market will pull me down in 1025, and if we get a retest of the bottom, which I think we're going to, I think the market's going to come down and hit 44.74 again. If it does do that thing between now and 1030, if we hit that low between now and 1030, I'm going to look for a low risk counter or low risk buy in the direction of my projected trend. So I'm going to be looking for a little buy opportunity if we retest the low now. We'll see where we go. Had the power zone signal a minute ago, putting in a pattern 5. This pattern 5 was both time warp and power zone, both in agreement for that pattern 5. The market punched through. I didn't really have a good plan for a breakout off that prime signal. I take the pullbacks, I don't really take the breakouts. If it had been a time warp signal, we could have taken the breakout and watched for the continuation up, but I just didn't have the same setup there. So on the side for a few minutes, we'll see if the market will give us some deeper pullbacks, and we'll look for another buy opportunity. For those of you guys who are in the room, I have a favor to ask for some of you. I forgot to do this last week. For those of you who are in the room, I have a favor to ask. Some of you have been here for a long time. Some of you have been here for a little time, and some of you have already done this for me. If you guys wouldn't mind, do you mind, anybody who wouldn't mind doing it? I'm going to send a link in the room. So I'm going to drop a little link out there. And I'm asking you guys to review me. I'm asking you guys to review us as a company. Do we do what we say? You know, are we, do we service you? Do we keep things going? Do we, whatever. You guys know how reviews work. I don't have to tell you that. Be honest, if you would, and let other people know that, we're scammers, if that's what you want to say. I wouldn't think so, but we'll see. But please, if you don't mind, if each person would drop in there. Some of you have already done it, and for those of you who have, thank you very much. If you want to amend your review, you're more than welcome to do so. We can't change anything that you say. I wish we could sometimes, because, well, some people don't really know how to articulate correctly, but they are what they are. But it would be greatly appreciated if each one of you here in my room today could drop in and say, hey, it is what it is. Give me a review. Let me know if I'm doing a good job out there or not, or what you think of our company. So I greatly appreciate it. It is Earl. Yeah, it is already out there. Thank you very much. Again, please, that's all I can do is ask. So please drop by, give us a review. And again, it helps us out a lot as a company. Lets other people know that we're not scammers, as the bulk of the trading world believes that we be. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about trying to get the review site to work, let me know. We'll figure it out. I've never left one on our own site, so it seemed kind of wrong to do that, so I didn't do it. All right, 1025, we're on a sell cycle, counter trend to the projection. So nothing to see there. Had a flurry of activity there. ES pissed me off. I've had nothing but aggravations today. Starting with I can't get my data to work, all the way down to the ES wicked me out. Jeez, that was so annoying. The trade did exactly what I wanted it to do too. It just got caught up in that little wick action. Aggravating thing. If it hadn't been for that, we'd be over $1,000 already. That right there, that was painful. All right, Russell's continuing to push its way up. Look for a retest at the top of that power zone and a break. The ES, I was hanging on here to see if the market was going to pull us back down or retest that low within the next 8 minutes. If it does, it would be a pattern 4, and I would buy it again, because that would be the lowest risk buy on the chart. Same thing basically would apply for the Russell. If the market pulled down in the next 8 minutes and tested the bottom of the range, that's the lowest risk buy place we would see. Crude, we've pulled down now, testing top of the power zone, 1-2 bars down. This is simply a sell signal in the direction of the, or in the opposite direction of the trend. Minute 40 seconds to close this bar. If this bar closes above the top of the open price line, I'm actually going to buy it. It's a sell time, but again, some things you learn to recognize, just like we talked about in our lesson last Thursday. Sometimes you don't get but 2 bars, but if you can see the direction of the market, watch for an acute reaction. This is in the expected direction of the trend, and it doesn't hurt one little bit that we tested the top of that power zone. So we'll see where that's going to go. That's right, Shots. Shots says, I love you guys. Does that sound weird as a review? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little on the strange side there. I'll give you that one. Yeah, that one might be. Yeah, I would love to see it though. That'd be hilarious. That'd be great. Love you guys. Oh, that's awesome. All right, 25 seconds. Looks like we are going to close above over on the crude. Tell you what, I'm going to buy it. It's likely, oftentimes, if you're newer, you'll see the market come back and test its own open price lines from each timing signal. And this one's closed above, which now gives me an indication we're probably going to push on up into 1033. And if it'll come back in the next couple of minutes and hit that open price line again, it's not unusual to see, but I'm looking for that lower risk area. So now we've closed above. If we tap it again, and then I expect we're going to push on up into 1033. It may just go on up into 1033 and I may just miss it. But I was waiting to see that bar close right there to confirm what I thought. So let's see what it does here in the next minute. I could get a very low risk buy if it comes down to here. Anybody else still hanging on to their ES trade? You guys may not have taken that wick that I did. That was annoying as crap, but just couldn't get it moved quick enough, I guess. $10.45 looks like that's going to be my next opportunity to buy the ES. We're now up into the counter trend sell. See if the market pulls us back at 10.45, we can buy it up again. Very similar pattern coming in right now on the Russell. We are up into the sell counter to the projected trend, and we'll see what happens. 10.50 might get an opportunity to buy it back up. Kind of a slow day. That little flurry of activity right there around the trend reversal, and yeah, we'll see how it continues to flow. If you're new to my room, the early morning's a little less active than normal, but otherwise, this is pretty much the way we do things every day. So I've been a little more vocal today than some days, so you'll have to bear with me there. Starting off with a technical issue that I couldn't easily fix first thing in the morning didn't set me on the right mental path. So always better if you can start off on a good mental foot, but we'll get it recovered. Still gonna do our thing. The market pulls back to, we are now I'm one more bar before my 1033 signal. I'd like to see the market give me a pull down into 1033. Not unusual to test the previous open price line here. And if it'll give me a little bit of a move further down for the next 5 minutes and 16 seconds, we're gonna look for a buying opportunity. 1033, looking for that push up into 1039. So we only have 6 minutes to play the game. 1039, gonna get a little longer duration move into 1103. So let's see what happens here at 1033. If the market is retesting 88.24 at 1033, so as we come into here, we're gonna keep a close eye out. If it happens to hit the top of the range within one bar of 1033, then that's going to be a pattern 5. If that occurs, then If I'm already in a position down here, then I will lock in a lot of profit or bail on the position. If it occurs, and if I don't have an entry already, then I will look for a potential counter trend, counter intuitive short, or a breakout trade long. It really depends on what happens in the next 3 minutes and 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 to 11. I'm behind. So 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's see what's going to happen. Doesn't look like it's going to be a pattern 5. We certainly don't have any. Yeah. I don't see anything that shows me a P5 right now. So let's see if we can get a pull down. I still like my entry price. So if the market will give us a pullback into that open price line that was created by the sell signal at 1021, that would be a really nice little entry area for the long. Oh, come on. Don't push up too soon. 3 minutes, as long as we are not hitting the top at 88.24, and especially if we can get a selling bar for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. If these guys will give us a selling bar here, I'm going to buy the market. If the market hits the absolute high, well, then I might sell it counter trend. But in either case, this is the time for my next opportunity. So let's see what happens here. I don't have much time either. 10:39 is my next signal up, so whatever happens here, we only have 6 minutes. All right, looks like we're going to push up pattern 5. All right, we've now official pattern 5, 18 seconds to close the bar. This is going to be a 252. See if we can get a counter trend pullback here. Counter trend, counter intuitive. 7, 6, 5, 2, 1. God, you do that. I chased it. I don't have the best feel in the world. 1, 2. 2 ticks above the top of the bar. Crap. I chased the dumb thing to even catch it. Man, it dropped fast. So I'm behind the 8 ball by 4 pennies. So I'm $40 behind the 8 ball because I basically hit market and chased it. Wow, that was quick. Man, it gave no shot. All right, so counter trend, counterintuitive pattern 5, target level is going to be one of two places where you're looking for 87.71, which makes the risk nice and desirable, or the upcoming signal time, which is not but a bar away. So we don't have a lot of time in this trade either way, and the bar we're on right now has to close or needs to close down here below 23. So let's see, we're going to get 2 more minutes in this bar. Let's see if we can pull on back down. Whoops, I need to take that one away. I'm getting in trouble there. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Again, the reviews may seem silly, but they really do help us a lot, especially when people call us up and say we're scammers. Well, you know, read the reviews. We don't write them. Reviews are always one of those things too that are, I've told Michael before, reviews make me nervous, and I'll just be honest with you. And they make me nervous because you can't control in any way, shape, or form. We have no control over what someone says, and we always think, you know, we have a tendency to always think, oh, you know, well, everybody's happy and satisfied. Well, every once in a while, you're going to get a hold of somebody who's not. One of the first guys that we ever sent the review request out to literally has purchased everything we ever made. I mean, so you would think at some point in time he was a customer for several years. Well, I think he had a stroke. Literally, he did have a stroke. I know because I talked to him at one point, and he wrote a horrible review, gave us a 1-star review, but he loved us, and he gave us a 1-star review. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely couldn't believe it. And then he called me after he left a 1-star review. He called wanting to talk about, he was like, oh yeah, you know, what's the market going to do? What do you think? How's software been going? Da, 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 da. I'm like, what do you want to know? You gave me a 1-star review. That's the guy in Norway. Yeah. I'm like, what do you gave me a 1-star review, dude. What do you know, why are you busting my chops now? And sure enough, he had a stroke. But even before, he was mad. He was mad because he didn't think we spent enough time with him. So he gave us a 1-star review. You can't, I was just, broke my heart. I was like, come on. And when we went back and looked, each of us had logged like 25 hours. So between Rachel, myself, and Michael, we had almost 100 hours of one-on-one time with the guy. And you never can control what somebody's going to say. But you got 100 hours of time with him. It's like, dude, come on. And over, you know, when you buy something from somebody and you say it's bad, and then you buy something else and you say, when you buy multiple products over about a 6-year period, it's not like he bought one thing one time ever and went away. He kept coming back and buying more over about 6 years. You know, it's like, okay, I spent 100 hours with you. You spent thousands of dollars with us over a 6-year period, and now you're going to give me a 1-star? Come on. So yeah, reviews are always sketchy for me, but at the same time, there's a lot of people nowadays that's what they look at. So I really do appreciate you guys giving us a review, and an honest one. I fully expect it to be honest. I don't think that guy's was honest. I really don't. That's why, I guess maybe that's why it bothered me, because I don't think he gave us an honest review. All right, I got out of my pattern 5. I got $100 off of it, 120. I didn't have a lot of time, and I knew I only had 6 minutes to play the game. And in this period of time, again, we were already on the sell zone. When we got to the 1.5 minute point, I just bailed. So All right, so let's see where this one's going to go. We are now up. We've gone from 2 inverted signals, a pattern nothing, into a pattern 5. Pattern 5 was confirmed, closing a first bar below. We're now into a pattern 2. Sometimes you get a 2-5-2 combination and a counter trend move, and sometimes a 2-5-2 combination will drive this thing right back down for a while. Now this one's risky because it is a 2. It's not a 5. We're outside the 5, but we have closed a buying bar. It's very risky here. I'm not even sure why I've got that order sitting there. It's all the risk it gets out of me. I'm only willing to risk 3 pennies. So 3 pennies. If it goes beyond 3 pennies, I'm going to take it as a breakout. So I'm scalping the top, 3 pennies. Come on, pull down where it goes. There we go. So I only risk 3 cents. This is a retest of the top of the pattern 5. Not unusual to get a pattern 5 into a pattern 2 and then get the major pullback down to the original target. So again, I wasn't willing to risk anything off my first trade, but I was willing to get in again with only 3 cents of risk, because the first one, let's be honest, I mean, I slipped 4 pennies just to get in it. Now that I'm already up money and this is a selling signal, so I'm going to go to the open price line there at 18. So I'm going to guarantee myself $60. Clear $60, no question about it. So I will get $60. Now, if the market, if the market goes more than 2 pennies above the top of this bar, I'm going to take that as a breakout trade. Okay, so I've taken a counter trend sell because it was the first signal after a pattern 5. They don't always work this way, but this bar that we're on right now, if it's going to have any hope of moving down, it has to close below 17. If this bar does not close below 17, which is basically where I have my stop, then the market's going to roll right back up, and I'm going to take it as a breakout long above 27. That's a mouthful. Okay, so again, I guaranteed myself $60 just to play the game. Commissions are covered, you know, whatever. In fact, it is very counter trend. I think I'm going to go ahead and take $90 off, and I'm out with 90 bucks. All right, so again, I just squeaked a little something off. Now, if the market, the pattern 5, the high of the pattern 5 is 25. If the market goes more than 2 pennies above that, this is going to be a breakout long with a look up into 47. So if the market goes more than 2 pennies above 88.25, I expect we will go into 88.48. But we see where it goes. 5 seconds to close it. Look at there. She's going to close below to spite me. Ha! So, all right. Well, it did close the bar below, which means that I'm already out of my position, but it's probably going to come back into here. Crap. I'll let that one sit and soak for a minute. Pattern 2. This is a pattern 2 counter trend pattern 2. Not normally something I like to do well. I agree, Michael. Yeah, spending more money is the ultimate review. There's no question about it. And I think Michael, my partner, he went through and addressed that with the guy. And then, like I say, when I talked to the guy on the phone, he didn't even understand why I was upset, because he gave us a 1-star review, which was kind of weird. It's like, really? He didn't even understand. But then when I talked to him, he confirmed that he had like 4 or 5 mini strokes. I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. So again, you can't control the public. PA today? PA. Okay, Colin, I give up. What's PA? I probably should know this. All right, ES, we have pulled down. We are testing the open price line. I'm going to look for a buy opportunity off the power zone open price line, and we're closing a selling bar at a buying time in a up projected trend. I'd like to get a fill right there. It tested it. We may not get a fill at that price level. Looks like it's going to test it and push back up. I want a lower risk if I can get it. Not going to give it to me. Maybe 6 seconds to close the bar. Yeah, maybe it does give me a fill. That'd be kind of cool. Well, it got me close. All right. I'm gonna let this bar close. This market has a tendency to wick me out. Yeah, the price. Okay, I got your price action. So let's see if this thing's gonna pull back up. We tested close to the open price line for the power zone. If I can get 2 or 3 points off here, I'll take it. Again, volatility's up, so you got to give it a little bit of room when the volatility is sitting at 12 points per bar. So volatility big here. So I got to pull back down into a buy time. Let's see if we can get a push up into 11.10. Yeah, the price action is a little on the wonky side. I'll give it that. But I mean, like I say, look at the volatility scale, man. 11.6. What are we? We're at 20. We're down to 21 over on crude. Crude, we were at almost 30 points per set. We were at 27 earlier, so almost 30. That's a lot. Just dumb whipping. Whip, 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 whip. Yeah, I agree, Colin. It's whippy today. All right, we've closed our first 2 bars below the sell. My breakout stays. If the crude breaches 88.27, I think we're going to pop the top. We're onto a sell at the top of the range on the 15, 11 o'clock. Look at there, 11 o'clock is a buy on the 30, but now here's the deal on the 30, 88.26. Yeah, if we breach the top of that zone, but I tell you what, if we do, and if we hit 54, I have to get out by 48, by 50, because that'll end up being a pattern 5 up there. So that's reasonable. That's not an unreasonable area. So there's nothing on the higher time frame standing in my way for this breakout trade long. So if the market gives me a break, but if I'm going to get the breakout trade long, I would like for it to happen before here. I don't want it to happen at the buy time. I want it to happen before the next buy signal. Pulling down on the Russell into 1050. ES, I'm giving it a little room. This thing's really whippy right this minute. Russell getting a little pullback down into the buy. If I look at my 1 minute chart, see if I can narrow my entry opportunity any. 10 minute, 20 seconds. It would have to pull down in 1052 to give me a better entry. For the long, over on the EAS, 1053. So it looks like I may take a little heat to 1052, 1053 range, maybe. Now into the buy, closing out the 1 minute buy signal. ES is kind of sideways here for the moment. They're figuring out what they want to do. That power zone still holding on. Yep, there the market goes. So I didn't really get a re-entry opportunity. I got the first one and nothing else after that. Probably not going to get a re-entry opportunity on crude either for a little while. Let's take that down. We'll wait till we get closer to the next signal maybe. All right, the open of yesterday, we're going to have probably some resistance at 93.50 over on the ES. We're up $200 on the move. There's 250. I think I'm going to lock in a little profit here. I gave it some room to see if it was going to get started, and I've got some time. I've got time left, but I don't believe I'm going to take a loss. Again, this price level at 93.25, that's where we opened up yesterday. And that's been an area of contention so far all day. If I can get 7 points here, 8 points, there's 7. So I'm not going to take a loss, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and I'm going to lock in aggressively, which gets me, I thought maybe it would punch on up, but apparently not. Okay. All right. Well, again, I thought that was going to be an area of contention at 93.25. We can see how many times we've hit that price, and that is yesterday's open. So that's been a really tough area so far all day. And they really find a resistance there again. So they weren't able to punch above it. Notice the last several candles, wick, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, yeah, we'll see what else we get. Russell, we need to be careful on the Russell because 2032.70, we got 2 minutes and 15 seconds at the bottom to close this bar out. And we've got 2 bars down into a buy. Now it's fine, but the buy, if we hit 22.32, that's going to be a pattern 5 if we hit it on this bar. There the ES goes. They finally broke it, didn't they? Bummer. Should have held on. Oh well. Still got the breakout trade opportunity over on the crude. Market has not breached it. It's pulling back up to it. Again, the breakout trade is a direct representation of the highest candle of our last pattern 5, which was here. So 2 ticks above the last candle of the pattern 5. If the market hits that price, it is likely to break out up into the next signal. So we're on the sell signal. This open price line from the sell, we have had the down move, but we've had a very consolidated, choppy market. Bang, 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 bang. Not really gone much of anywhere down. I scalped it down earlier for $70 or so. Didn't really get a lot. If this market breaches the top of 26, it will launch up, potentially back up into 48. So I'm looking for a breakout trade here. If I get the breakout trade, breakout trades are inherently more risky simply because of their nature. And if I get the market give me the break, then I will take the break. Risk is going to have to be just below the bottom here, so 15 to 20 cents of risk. And I'm going to be looking for a retest of the dot price of 41, provided I don't get the break within 1 bar of the buy time. Now, if I got a range expansion bar, if it happened now, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, I've got the range up to 48, Colin. I think we're going to push right on back up in the 48 right there. It'll be a pattern 5 if we do too. Well, there's the breakout. All right, let's see if we get the lunge. I want to see it scream up. So it should scream up pretty strongly here. This should be popping some sell limit stops. See if we can get a move on up. I've only been up $60 in the move so far. This is a pattern 5 breakout in the direction of the projected trend. And it needs to hustle. Hasn't been enough yet to be able to lock in any profit, but my boogie shoes. Come on, pig. You suck. Come on, market. I was just looking for $100 on the breakout. Let's go. Back down to the open price line. We've seen lots of resistance here at 18. I got the breakout trade. The market only gave me $70. Only gave me $70 off the breakout. Now right back down again. It did not give me $100. All right, let's see if it'll do it now. Oh, if it retests 33 on this bar, because now we are within 1 bar of the buy signal. If we even retest 33, I'm going to lock in profit. I'm not going to fight this pattern 5. So I expect it very well might. If it does pull down against me, I'll buy it again at 1103 as long as I'm upside down at least 20 cents. That's kind of my minimum. If it's not 20 cents, it's not really worth averaging in usually. But if it pulls down to 1103 again, I'm just looking for buys. And the breakout, man, they tried, just didn't give me much. The doji makes me a little nervous. All right, pattern 5, not going to fight it. Profit locked in. I'm going to give it some room in case it wants to punch and run. Sometimes it will, but I'm not fighting this trade. I'm already in it. Cover commissions, let it be. Not going to fight it. Crap. Made $10. Lunch money. Anybody else pick up some decent profit off that ES move? I know some of you guys will hold them longer. I figured that looked like something Mr. Senegal would have got a good piece of right there. It was a clean setup. Just had to give it a little bit of room because of all the stuff. There you go, Michael. Michael got a nice chunk off of that one. You still hanging in there? Steve said Parker got a nice chunk. Nice. Good job, Parker. Earl got a piece off the NASDAQ. He picked up 10 points or more. Nice chunk off of 1050 long. Yeah, so Earl got the 1050 long, but he got it on the NASDAQ side. Nice. All right, Michael's done for his day. I just about am. I'm after 11 o'clock. I don't know that I'm going to do much else today. Some days you just got to, when you start off and you get agitated and you make the best out of it, but sometimes it's just, Crop estimate slash on Brazilian soybeans, if anybody trades that. There was that range expansion bar, right back up into the place that I was looking for, 47. Again, when it hits a pattern 5, I didn't take the risk on it. We've hit 47 now. Let's see where she's going to go. Good job, Colin. Colin's up $500 on his micro account. Excellent, man. Sweet. Almost to his target. Oh, for your combine. Nice. Love to see those numbers coming in. All right, we have coming up into a sell time. We're on a really nice move right now. We're on the ES, retesting the high of day. We're also retesting this double resistance level. So if you were looking to trade anything counter trend to the projection on the ES, This area between 45.15 and 45.09, that would be the area based on our daily analysis where we would expect to find resistance. So anything to the short side, this is the area where at this point in time, we would start looking for shorts to happen. But again, that's counter to all of our lower time frame analysis. All the lower time frame stuff says, now we're going to keep going up. So the 15, the 60, everything says on the lower time frame projections, they all say that we should continue to trend higher, except for the dailies. The daily is the only one that says, we might stop here. But again, even the daily, it has until 3 o'clock. Where is it? Right over here. Even this daily has, or 4 o'clock. It has until 4 o'clock to settle out. So we'll have to wait and see what the daily candle is. But everything else says as we get into here, if there was going to be a short, this would be the lowest risk short area on our charts for the ES. So yeah, I might risk a point there or something. I'd be happier to risk a point off the top one versus the bottom one, just because, well, I mean, it's 6 points difference. Resistance, 4 seconds to go. Now, it's not going to give me, I was looking maybe short 09.5, and it hit 09.25 at the close of the bar, and it's going to drop right away. So counter trend makes me nervous. Daily resistance levels at a 5-minute sell signal doesn't mean it's not going to go down, but it is very counter to my projected trend. So usually I'll just leave those alone and go do something else. There you go, Colin. Good job on your combine. Stick to your rules, man. Stick to your rules. That's the key. That's the key to a combine. All right, ES, not ES, crude, pattern 5 with the punch through. I had the long off the breakout and just didn't go. It took its own sweet time, pulled back, and then it went. So I might could have given it a little more, but again, I don't like to fight a pattern 5. Market's continuing up, 11.21 be the next pullback. I don't have anything to do there. Just like I won't have anything to do above the power zone here for the Russell. We may very well get a pullback down to 11.35, counter to the projected trend. I'm not interested. I actually won't get any other trending signals today. So I have no other trending opportunities today in the direction of the projected ones that I did this morning. So I don't have anything else there. I'm gonna let my charts run for a few minutes, and I think I'm gonna take a step away from the computer. Let's see where we're at for the day. Take a quick peek at our daily. Where are we today? Generate today. Looks like for today we're going to be in. I'm not going to take any other trades because I don't have any other setups. Today we're going to be $966.52. We're going to pay the man $38.48. Profit factor is a 3, so it's not too bad. We've had 9 trades, so 9 executions today. For 66.67% of those have closed out on the plus side. So a couple of counter trend, most of them with the trend. And so that's not a bad day. Starting off with February. Had last month, take this way out. So last month, we closed out our month with almost $10,000. So had a lot of trades. Had a really bad week. Had 2 days that stayed upside down, just couldn't get out of my own way. But we ended up the month pretty good. So not a bad month there. Picking it up and adding to the overall equity of the account. So yeah, she's doing okay. So had a pretty good month last month. We're going to see if this month doesn't do as good or better. So what are you doing? Come here. Why are you being hateful? 1-1, oh, 2-1. Why does it not go to 2? When I tell it to go to 2, it doesn't go to 2. Some days this thing. Go there. Jeez Louise. So 966 bucks. So we're going to close out our day today with $900 ish, and that's all I'm going to do. So we're going to leave that over on the side. Just watch the market. I'll leave my charts open for those of you guys who are following along, but I'm not going to do anything for the rest of the morning. There's not really a need. So again, I don't have any other signals. So if you don't have signals, you don't have signals. The nice thing about trading with time is, well, I mean, when it's time, it's time. Nothing to do in between except go play golf, eat a bagel, and watch YouTube videos. All right. I'll be back in just a second, guys. I'll close it out at 11:30. I'll see you then. All right, well, the sell came in, watching for the push down, blah, blah, blah. Selling coming in over on the crude, retesting the multi-day high at 88.85. And there's that sell signal over on the EF, small punch through, rolling back over. So it is marking, but just, again, counter trend. No thanks. Guys, I'm going to bail on you for the morning. Again, I want to say thanks to everybody for hanging around. Appreciate you guys being here. And appreciate you guys being amazing customers. Closing out our day again with $900 today. And I'll look forward to seeing you back tomorrow. We're going to do it again, hopefully without the technical issues, and get started. And we'll do it even better. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow.